10, but that's not going to be good. So Jungle Man's going to go ahead and double up to about 3,280,000. Yong's going to maybe become the short stack of the table. You know, he was basically hoping he was up against Ace King a lot.
Daniel Cates doubles up and avoids elimination, and that's always good for the stream, as he's one of the more interesting players at the table. Most people either love him or love to hate him. Daniel.
But we should start. No, start fucking around. Yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? Let's fucking go. Whatever. I mean, which ones are you referring to? The Benghazi story. Yeah. The what story? Benghazi. What's Benghazi? Huh? Benghazi? You know Benghazi? The place where people got killed and you were just hanging out in that city. No way. You're just checking what? Benghazi airport taken there or something? Oh, are you talking about when I had like a layover in Libya? That's Benghazi. Oh, I didn't know that. Like a week after the ambassador got killed, we were just hanging out there. Oh, yeah. That'll live. The most connections for Benghazi. Apparently.
Looks like Jumbo's got a lot of stories.
Not appropriate for TV as of recently. I think it's told Ruby one. Look at your oh, but it's a shame.
Ivan's gonna come in for a raise.
Okay, surprising. Like, I mean, all airports dirty as shit, but who knows? Alright. I couldn't actually head to Libya. You need like a visa or something.
Yeah, you just need a visa. News to my ears, Jungle Man. Jungle's gonna call Ace Jack against Ivan's Jack 10 suited. So it's gonna be heads up to flop, and actually I think Sauce folded Ace Jack of clubs pre-flop. What a flop, a straight and nut flush draw.
This is my first experience, so I don't really know what to gauge it with, but it seems pretty good.
Tricky spot here for both players.
I like that.
So Jungle Man's going to check.
Shit was happening, but I think it kind of has to. I think it's pretty good.
So Ivan's going to bet here with the mid pair.
Short-handed molecule. But, hey. What matters.
The Jungle Man here has got up and down straight draw. King 9 will make him a straight. So it's unlikely to fold. It's not great that he doesn't have a club in his hand, so some of the clubs will kind of be a dirty out.
It's probably not that fun to watch on a stream, just because it's just like, yeah, it's Jack against King Queen all in every hand. But like at this stage, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Jason Kuhn pointing out that the final table play is going to be different than what we've seen yesterday. We'll see if that comes true.
Yeah, thanks for the plug, Jason.
I think it's better now. But nobody wants that. Yeah, exactly.
Discussing more tweaks to the game, maybe pop limit pre-flop. Here's the turn. King straight for Jungle Man. He's got 100% lock on his hand.
Yeah, that's the turn that Jungle Man wanted there. Especially because Liao is going to be reluctant to let this hand go.
Now, the question is, will Jungle Man just check? Now, Ivan here, Jack 10. Usually does not have the best hand here. He needs to decide, how strong is Jungle Man here? He's going to bet again.
Yeah, I expect him to bet here. This is a good card to continue to barrel with Ivan's hand. Jungle Man, though, completely locked up here.
I mean, there's a lot of the hands Ivan would want jungle man to fold is like ace 10, ace queen. Just goes check, check.
Wow, he does check.
A nice check. River is a king of clubs. So jungle man's straight. Still a strong hand, but it looks a little bit worrisome because if someone has a flush, it beats a straight. If someone's got a full house, it beats a straight. So jungle man here, in a tough spot on whether to bet or check.
He's going to go for value here. He's going to
try
bet.
to get paid off by a king.
Yeah.
The thing is, normally in Nolan Hold'em, you'd be scared when the flush gets there. But in this game, it's just a lot less likely someone's holding a flush. Because, well, a flush is harder to make than a full house. Jungle man trying to decide what does Leo have here, and what do I need to bet to get that hand to call. So he wants to probably get hands like king jack, ace king to call river bet, and he needs to size in a way that they would call. Probably around half pot would be a pretty good bet. This game, the only rule changes for hand ranking is that a flush beats a full house.
Jungle man very deliberate here, taking his time to select his bet size.
It seems like he's targeting that kind of like ace-king type hand right now. Looks like 600,000 going in there. Let's see. It's about 600,000. Just gonna try to get paid off by an ace-king type hand. Like 600,000.
Looks like there's a little bit of technical difficulties with the table audio and video for the time being. Do you think we could possibly see Leo move all in here?
I think that'd be very risky. I think Ivan's just gonna fold this hand. He doesn't really beat anything. I guess he chops with the same type of hand if Jungle Man's gonna make a bluff like this, but you really should be letting go of this Jack 10 here. He doesn't have that much behind where he can maybe move Jungle Man off of a big hand. Might be able to get a move off ace jack, but Jungle Man's going to have king queen here a lot. He's going to have some clubs like ace jack of clubs, well flush. So actually, I think Sauce folded a well flush. I'm pretty sure Sauce had ace jack of clubs earlier.
Wow.
I don't know if anyone else saw that. Ivan's brought out the calling chip so far. This would be an insane call. Yeah, he just lets it go.
Yeah. Do you think he was thinking about calling or shoving?
I'm not sure, but he made the... I sold that hand. Yeah. Because I think most people don't expect someone to bet Jack 7 there. Right, so the assumptions that the players have at the table might be slightly wrong. I mean, they're going to make that adjustment when they see the hand on the broadcast. So we got a lot of limping again. A lot of limping pots. If it's going to play this way, it's going to take some time. But things can change up.
Look at this. Penskorsky raising it up with 7-8 offsuit, taking advantage of his big stack here at the final table. He knows that Sauce's short stack here, it's going to be difficult for him to continue, especially with ICM considerations. Rahimov has been pretty loose pre-flop. Now Ivy wakes up with pocket jacks behind him, and that's bad news for Penskorsky as Ivy comes in with the jacks. Kuhn, king jack suited.
I think Kuhn is just going to call as well. Doesn't want to play a huge pot right now, does he, with the chip leader? So he's going to call. As you can see, Ivy playing the jacks a bit cautiously with his 1.5 million stack. It's a tricky situation. Probably, actually, all the jacks are dead, so Ivy will not flop a set.
Yeah,
so
I think
it's going to be hard for him to win this pot.
I think if this were not the final table and there were no ICM considerations, perhaps you'd see Ivy move all in pre-flop with the pocket jack.
Most likely, yes. But now, I don't know how Ivy's going to win this pot. He's not going to flop a jack. If it comes one overcard, which it will, most likely, Queen, Queen, 9. And Sauce has got the open-ended straight draw. In this game, you tend to share a lot of cards with players, I realize. Like, you don't always have all your clean outs.
So Sauce now has half a pot size bet. He moves all in with an up and down straight draw. I think that this makes sense here. Ivy quickly folding. Now over to Kuhn.
Well, if Kuhn can make this call of King Jack high, that'd be sick.
Little does Kuhn know he's ahead right now.
He's got the best hand of King Jack. If he makes a call here, just King Jack high. So what he needs to figure out is, would Sauce ever just open shove like pocket 9s? Probably not. So would he open shove a queen, king queen, queen jack, queen 10? That's what he needs to think about, and rather quickly. But he does have half pot. It does make a lot of sense to just open shove here, because someone's going to have jack 10, someone's going to have king 10, someone's going to have king jack. You need to.
Right. So certainly with a queen, he can't expect Sauce to open shove here, but the thing that Kuhn is thinking about is, you know, would Sauce shove hands like king 10, for example? And if so, Kuhn has the best straight draw possible.
I don't think he expects Sauce to shove king 10. I think he's putting him on jack 10 specifically.
Wow, he's going to fold. I think if Kuhn would have thought about that a little deeper, he would have been able to find a call there. Combinatorically, there are just so many more combos of jack 10 than there are of queen X.
8-10 suited for White Ken Young.
Oh yeah, it's out there.
It's an ace on the flop. Well, it's a three-way all-in. Ace, king, and queens. I'm not sure who the other players are, but pocket queens got a lock on his hand.
Oh, come on.
Pogorski's in there, pocket queens, I think.
There we go.
And I think this looks like a double elimination, right?
Hey guys.
Wow.
Sauce.
Both Sauce and Young eliminated on that hand, where Young re-raised over the top with ace king, but Gorski happened to wake up with the pocket queens, and that wasn't the easiest call with pocket queens there when it went all in, huh?
Flop the set. So of course, so White King Young is going to get 8th place. I believe he gets about 488,000 Hong Kong dollars. Alan Sauce gets 7th place for about 560,000 Hong Kong dollars. So let's see what happened. Ivy called him 8-9 offsuit, and Jason Kuhn's raising up with Ace Jack, 250,000. 5x the button size. So over to Ivan Leo. Ace 10 offsuit.
I think we're going to see him make a call here.
It's a tricky spot. He's got position. He's got an okay hand. It's not a great hand. He's only got 1.5 million too. I think he's gonna play. Looks like he wants to come along with a call. He's gonna call.
Let's see. Gorski make the call, and Ivy now. Interesting spot.
Should be calling here with 8-9. It's a little bit too heroic to just shove. Got 4-way pot. 250,000 each. 1.1 million. No one's got. Well, Jason Kuhn's got an amazing hand here. He's got the jack of clubs. So even if someone makes a full house, if he makes a flush, he wins the spot. He's the only one with the club. Ivy is the one betting though. Is Ivy going to bet? It's just 8-9. It makes more sense if you had club. Okay, he checks. So Coon. Coon's gonna fire here.
275, a very small bet here.
Small bet, just I guess trying to
Very small.
probe out what the other players have. It's very like no limit hold'em style, putting like smaller bets in. But Ivan here, when he sees, he makes a really good laydown of ace 10. You know, he's getting an amazing price, but just he doesn't get attached. He's like, well, I've got top pair, but I can still hold top pair. So
yeah, it's another spot where I think if we saw Ivan closing the action, he'd absolutely continue. But with 2 players behind, he goes ahead and lets it go, and I think that makes sense.
yeah, very well disciplined.
Then again, with ICM and in the tournaments, perhaps he was not wanting to go ahead and do that, with Ivan being just about as short as Ivy. So we have Jason Koon limping aces under the gun, and Theo with a hand that's tough to resist, 9-10 suited.
He just calls, so it's gonna protect him from getting blown off his hand. If he had raised, certainly Koon would have re-raised all in. We got a 4-way pot. Ivy's gonna check. This board is tricky. Everyone's got a little piece here. Look, Jason Koon has pocket aces, but you know what? He's not even in first place to win his hand. Well, that turn changes things.
Well, Ivy is now obviously the favorite with the straight.
Yeah, he's got the straight. You've seen, what do you mean he has the straight? Well, an ace acts as a 5, so he's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
This was part of the problem with just taking a passive line with aces. You allow the button to come in for free. Ivy with a junk hand on the button that now turns the nuts.
Well, it's not the literal nuts.
Right.
The reason we say it's a nuts is that most of the time someone has 10-8, they will just bet this flop because it's too drawy. But look, of course he's calling with King Jack. He just has a pair of jacks.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing.
I mean, just got a lot of chips. It's like, maybe he can find some cards on the turn that he can turn the bluff with.
That's I have no idea why Pagorski made this call here.
Now, Koon here, he's got top set. It's a tough spot.
Koon is going to call.
He should be calling because it feels like he beats too many hands.
I mean, Ivy's hand looks like a straight, but Koon has decent equity against a straight here. He's getting not a terrible price. I would be shocked if Koon folds.
As long as Ivy has some hands occasionally that aren't a straight, you know, and it's only 1 million chips. Now, if Ivy shoved like 2 million, this would be a tough spot. But
I mean, it's less than 900k to call.
Yeah, I think Koon's just going to, he needs to call here. If ever Ivy doesn't have a straight here, he'd be making a massive mistake if he had fold. But I mean, Koon's thinking about it. It's about 880,000 more to him. In short deck, it's easier for him to boat up than in normal no limit hold'em, so he's getting better odds in this game.
He requires about 35% equity to call. The worst equity he could possibly have is 35% here. So unless Koon is considering folding for ICM consideration,
just needs to make sure the odds are. Yes, he put him on 6-8.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. But Koon makes a correct call, and now Koon has 36% going to the river. He actually slightly made chips by making that call.
I mean, he did know that he had 8-6. He just needs to make sure the math is right. And there's the river 10.
Cards a 10, and Ivy will double up against Jason Koon.
8-6 offsuit. So Ivy playing pretty solid today. And It's doubled up to 2.5 million.
196.
Jungle Man, pocket nines, gonna try to see a flop. Seven clubs. Imagine he's gonna call as well. Once someone calls in front of you, it kind of protects you a little bit more from getting raised in position. So you can 7 clubs come along. Gorski, he's actually gonna go for raising chips. No, actually, he's calling. So we got a 4-way pot here. Everyone with low cards. No one's got a Broadway. And this flop, look at this. Rahimov's got 8-7 clubs. He's got 33% equity. He's going to 33% chance to win.
Yeah, but the equity matters a lot less than the visibility in here. Rahimov has much better visibility than the other players in this hand, although a 9 straight is kind of a dicey card for him.
Well, turns a jack. No one has a jack. No one has an ace. Players just have a 10, but Kuhn has a pair and a flush draw.
Jungle Man considering a bet here. He's sensing weakness since everybody checked back the flop, and
it's tricky though. He's the first player to act.
Yeah, and he is drawing to a full house.
He
does check.
If you have a full house here, if Rahimov or Kuhn makes a flush, they would beat a full house in this game. So this is one of the differences. So that's why you see players being a little bit more active with their flush draws, as you can see Rahimov. But Kuhn's going to call though, because he might occasionally has the best hand. From his point of view, it doesn't really look like it's the best hand that often. But if he makes that flush, he would beat. He beats Ace Jack. He beats Jack 10. So
yeah, I can't imagine Kuhn's going to do anything other than call here.
So Kuhn's going to call, see what happens. He's got position. We got a funny spot where 2 people just drawing type hands or going to the river.
Regarding the King of Spades, what a river card for Jason Kuhn, and now Rahimov has to be wanting to bluff this river. I mean, this is the worst possible hand that Rahimov can arrive at the river at,
well,
and I imagine he's going to bluff here.
If he's bluffing, he needs to put Kuhn on types of hands. So he needs to decide, does Kuhn have a flush draw here often? And there isn't that many flush combos, right? What, Queen 10 of spades? Most people don't play 10-6 of spades. I guess this was a lip pot though. You can get a full house to fold if he bets really big.
Right. But I don't think that Jason Kuhn has a full house that often, seeing as he closing the action, check back the flop.
He needs to decide what does Kuhn have here, and actually I think he's going to take a lot of time here and actually try and deduce what hands Kuhn would have here. So he's going to be like, okay, can he have a straight that can bluff him off of? Well, King Queen probably would have bet the flop. We probably doesn't put him on King Queen. Queen Jack. It's possible. Queen 10. It's possible, right? What else? Well, I think Kuhn's on the dealer button, right? So Kuhn can have a lot of hands. He is going to fire. Try to make a move at this play. It is a good card if you're trying to represent a big hand, but it's not going to work.
Yeah, I think there's a mandatory bluff spot here by Rahimov. He does go ahead and bluff, and now back over to Jason Kuhn, and with the
high flush
straight, he will certainly be raising here.
So 10 high flush, so what does he need to think about? He loses to pocket jacks, and he loses to a queen high flush.
High flush.
But the thing is, he's got the 10 of spades, so he blocks queen 10 of spades, the well flush, right? So he doesn't need to be worried about a queen high flush very often, because they would need queen 9 of spades, and most players I've seen have been folding that in early position.
Right. So the only thing he really loses to is pocket jacks.
Pocket jacks. The great thing about short deck hold'em is you can really narrow down someone's range so much, because you don't have to worry about, well, he could have like queen 5 suited. No, the hand doesn't even exist in this game. But I think, you know, Kuhn, probably not the most experienced short deck hold'em player, needs to think about this just to make sure he's deducing this right. He is going to raise. Looks like a million, 1.1 million. Figured it out. And Rakhimov just quickly folds that hand. Nice play by Jason Kuhn.
And he, you know, there's like always like all these withered guys around the Calmer, just trying to get like their friends to put them in tournaments. Like all these like degenerate gamblers that are just like, put me in the 10K, I can win kind of thing. This guy, John's like playing a cash game, and
That commerce story from Jason Kuhn. Commerce stories are always the best.
It's a broken story right now. Got a 4-way flop. Ivy, look, he just loves to bet in these multi-way pots.
15 minutes later, he comes back and he's like, sorry, John, I fucked your money. Fuck you.
So Ivan of mid-pair here.
Did he just run off with the money, or he just lost it? You know, he's like, being lazy or something. He comes back and he's like, I fucked your money. I'm sorry, John.
So Ivy gets called by Leo. Leo with just second pair and a king kicker. But Ivy, we've seen him bet into these multi-way pots very frequently. Here, he's betting, he did bet with a flush draw. It goes check, check, and look at that river card. Ivy gets a check mark. He has a straight on the river. He now only would lose to a flush. He, of course, has the jack of diamonds in his hand, which makes that less likely, but Leo does have the king of diamonds.
Well, Leo was correct on a flop, figuring out that Ivy was no good. Look at this all
Wow, and Leo moves all in, putting Ivy to the test.
Ivy only loses to a flush right now.
He only loses to a flush. He has the jack of diamonds in his hands. And you gotta love this play by Leo here.
He calls though.
He does call.
And that's it for Ivan.
Wow. He played very well. He played very aggressively the whole tournament. You know, always mixing it up. And great game, Ivan Leo. But Ivy had a tough decision. He was just, I think, too near the top of his range there to fold. And with a diamond in his hand, he made the correct call. Nice call by Phil Ivy, who continues to add to his stack at this final table.
Well, he gets 6th place for 689,000 Hong Kong dollars. That's a lot of money. Gabe Pogorski is our chip leader, 6.8 million. Ivy's in second, 3.8 million. Daniel Cates with 3.6 million. And short stack is Furkat Rakhimov, 1 million chips. Alright, so Ivy here under the gun of Queen 9 offsuit, so gonna let that one go. Alright, so Rakhimov's all in with 8-7 diamonds. Quick call by Pogorski, King 10 offsuit, so Rakhimov trying to make a play here of 8-7 diamonds, but he's actually not that far behind, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is
like 40-something percent, 40,
pretty much, yeah.
45?
Yeah, about that, I would guess.
Well, not on that
flop.
Rakhimov is drawing dead, 0%. Good game for him. 5th place.
Chop it up.
Could have cashed about 916,000 today. Quad Kings. No big deal.
Rakhimov going home, and he was one of the more aggressive short stacks throughout this tournament.
played pretty good.
He played definitely a different style than the other players there, eliminated in 5th place. A little over 900,000 Hong Kong dollars for his efforts, and this final table is just moving along. Stacks getting very deep here.
This guy, it's the world's best right here. You gotta fold against him.
I always love Jason Kuhn, very chatty guy. Jungle Man's got his stories. Gotta love Phil Ivey. He's got King 10 offsuit. Gonna take the flop. King Jack 7 flush draw. Everyone's got a different little piece. But actually, Pogorski, he's got the most equity, most chance to win, even though he doesn't even have top pair. So he's going to bet his top pair King 10. Pogorski's got ace of spades, 10 of diamonds, so a queen would make a straight. He's going to come along for call. Let's see a turn. So he's got a 48% chance of getting some chips back in the ace of spades. Look at that.
Wow.
So Pogorski doesn't have the best hand, but he can represent a large hand, and
right,
he's actually going to lead here.
He has the best semi-bluffing hand he could possibly have here.
They've got deep stacks. Ivy probably is going to fold if he just bets like 400k right now. So he's going for 325. Ivy doesn't have if Ivy had 10 of spades, he would continue for sure. He is going to call though. Things are changing. He is slightly suspicious.
Who had bet the flop here?
Ivy has bet the flop.
So I'm surprised Pogorski didn't go for a check raise on the turn.
Well, I guess maybe he expects Ivy just to check back the turn too often. River is a jack. And actually, Pogorski can make a huge bluff here.
Yeah, I mean, these two players are very, very deep.
He just checks.
Wow, he does just check.
Check.
Ivy's going to win. Pogorski with the pretty unconventional play there. Leading the turn, it's just such a suspicious line.
I don't think he likes that river jack. I think he might fire a lot of rivers that wasn't pairing the board, because most people wouldn't fold a full house. So I thought they were getting him. Pogorski's got pocket queens. He limps as well. But then, if this limping style happens for a while, I think someone might just like change to the game and just start raising. It's kind of like has to happen for maybe like half an hour or so. Maybe the strategy will change again.
Yeah, it seems to me like Pogorski and Kuhn are playing a little bit more of a fluid style, whereas Ivy and Jungle Man have kind of more of a static style.
Look at this. Ivy just checked back 2 pair on the turn. So everyone's being a little bit more cautious right now. Most likely you'll think King Jack is good here on the turn, right?
Right now, Pogorski's going to make a big bet here because he has 2 queens in his hand, and therefore he's blocking the straight.
Overbet slightly, 600,000. Ivy with a weak 2 pair needs a hero call here.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Ivy sniff this out and make the call just because Ivy's really at the top of his range here. I mean, having checked back the turn, there's not too many better hands that Phil Ivey can have in this spot.
I mean, Ivy, the reason I would also be calling is that it went check on the turn. It just makes Ivy's hand look like 1 pair too often, because the 9 doesn't change too much. A queen 10 straight would have been the turn, so, you know, like, no one's playing 10-7 really. Ivy's probably going to make the call, unless he just makes a mistake.
I'd be surprised if Ivy folded this hand. I mean, I can't think of a better hand that Phil Ivey could really have in this spot.
Now, yeah, he's going to call. Pogorski with the blockers. I mean, when
of course,
you take the passive line, the blockers isn't as great. You know, like.
I mean, when Pogorski overbets, though, it really makes Ivy's hand a bluff catcher.
Yes.
So it's possible that Ivy may choose to fold a hand like this, but call a hand that has a 10 in it because it blocks straights.
Sure. I guess I would be thinking that, of course, he doesn't have a straight that often this deep. Is he really checking Queen 10 on turn? I don't know. Probably not, right? 2 flush draws? I mean, it's a tricky spot from Ivy's point. He's like, well, I haven't seen this happen yet. It's overbet. So he wants to make sure he's making the right decision.
Right. So far, from our perspective, we've seen in this tournament 2 river overbets. Both of them have been bluffs. Ivy does make the call, and that's why he is Phil Ivy. That's why he's one of the greatest in this game. Sniffs it out, makes the call. Ivy takes down the pot. I think in the end, he kind of sighed. He just said, you know what, I'm too near the top of my range.
I would like to say, if Pogorski wanted to kind of make this blocker bet style of play, I think he would have been better off betting the turn and the river.
Yeah.
Because then he's like, well, I'm representing a straight. I know you most likely don't have a straight. I'm holding 2 queens. And it'd be much more credible, but when you check the turn, your blockers aren't as important anymore.
I would have loved to see Pogorski go for very large bets on both the turn and the river there. This is the second time we've seen Pogorski play his hands differently on a bluff than perhaps he would have if he actually had it for value. We saw that earlier when he had the ace of spades, the bare ace of spades, when I think with a turn nut flush he probably would have gone for the check raise. So Pogorski taking some unique, interesting lines, and it's not working out for him.
So Jason Kuhn is mixing it up. He's starting to raise now these limps. But I don't think Ivy's going to fold Jack 10 offsuit. Kuhn, not a great hand, ace 8 offsuit this game. So he's going to make the call.
After winning that pot, Ivy neck and neck with Pogorski for the chip lead.
Jason Kuhn, ace 8. Comes King Jack 6 flush draw. Kuhn has nothing. Just ace 8 high, 12% chance to win his pot.
Yeah, this is a great flop for Phil Ivy's hand.
But Kuhn might feel obligated to bet just because he made a 300,000 pre-flop. There's a lot in there. He might feel some connection to his flop and take a stab, and he's going to do that. Doesn't have anything. This is as pure as a bluff as it gets in this game. 340,000. Trying to get Ivy to fold a hand like red Jack 10, you know, something that just connected but not too well. Ivy's going to come along. You have to come along with 10 of spades. You can't get anyone to fold that, especially with a pair. So Kuhn, he's got a lot of chips in here. Nothing. Even if it's an ace, he's not going to like it. Turns a queen. Ivy has 89% chance to win this pot.
1.37 million in the pot, 2.3 million behind. Kuhn checks it back. Where's an 8? Ivy just has Jack 10. Think Ivy's going to turn his hand into a bluff here?
I think he should consider it, because usually when there's a pre-flop raiser and it comes king, queen, jack, your jack is not very good here. Like your opponent has like ace, queen, you know, like ace, king, and these ace, king, and ace, queen on this board is terrible. It looks awful. Someone often has a straight or 2 pair.
Yeah, I think Ivy's going to bluff here.
I mean, Ivy should strongly consider just what? I mean, usually someone has ace 10, they would bet the turn. It's very hard for Kuhn to have a strong hand here. You know, Ivy's checking the stack, trying to decide what he can get away with. I think like a 900k plus bet is pretty good, but he checks though.
Wow, Ivy does check.
Jason Kuhn here needs to figure out what would Ivy have. Would Ivy bet 2 pair here? No, he checks, gives it up. It's like jack question mark.
What? What?
Gorski's like, how does a jack win on this board? But it does. Jungle Man of Ace King has been playing very solid. Everyone's been raising a bit more now, I realize. So a different dynamic again, now that there's no short stacks. If you can steal the blinds over and over again, it actually is going to add up a ton because of how big the ante and button structure is. So of course he's going to try to set mine on pocket nines. Jason could have ace jack probably come along with the call. He's got position. Doesn't need to be too aggressive here. I think with position it's just safer to see a flop. But maybe he's thinking about making a move. He's been losing some pots.
Yeah, I think if he did anything other than call here, you'd have to go
just
all
shoves.
in, and yeah, that's what he does. It's going to be bad news for Jason Koon here, because I don't think Jungle Man is going to fold.
2,065,000.
Tough. A misstep for Jason Koon. He's all in a base jack. Gets ace king.
Jungle Man goes all in. Pogorski will fold.
Jason Koon cannot like this.
I think Pogorski will fold.
Well, if they both have ace king, it's a call, right? Pocket nine?
Sure.
Yeah.
I am or you? I am.
What?
What?
So Jungle Man all in with ace king, or I'm sorry, Jason Koon all in with ace jack against the ace king of Jungle Man.
There's a 9 on the flop. Jason Koon practically drawing dead. 5% chance in this game. It's
Yeah,
awful.
Jason Koon shoved, really saving Jungle Man on
He
this
needs an
one.
8 to make it straight, to chop it up, but it doesn't make it straight.
Doesn't get there, and we will lose Jason Koon in 4th place.
Hey, I did hear Jason Koon say the other day, I need to get at least 4th place to make money in this tournament due to re-entries. He made money.
That's true.
Good job to Jason Koon. Because this was a re-entry tournament, 250,000 Hong Kong.
Jason Koon saying, was that too loose? Jungle saying, yeah.
I'll explain why later.
Okay.
And now look at this. All the players are neck and neck. Kabortsky, who came in as the chip leader, is now in 3rd place of the remaining 3 players. Daniel Jungle Man Cates, the new chip leader, and so he just calls here with the ace jack.
Jungle Man is the chip leader. Ivy with 2 pair. He's been firing out a lot. I can kind of give him the vibe he's going to fire out on this flop as well. 150,000. 175. Jungle Man with the ace jack high probably will call here, just because he can make the nut straight. Occasionally has the best hand. Of course, he lets it go, so 66% chance for Ivy to win this pot. And
Wow, there's the card for Jungle Man.
that's the card he was looking for, but Ivy's hand actually doesn't look very good here. Just bottom 2 pair is not a hand you want to put in a lot of chips with. Let's see if, so Jungle Man, okay, he needs to think, what does Ivy have to bet the flop and now check the turn queen? When he checks the turn queen, it looks like he's got a weak hand. So bottom 2 pair makes a lot of sense. Maybe like King 8, King 10 occasionally. Might check here because there's a lot of better 2 pairs, a lot of straights. So he needs to size in a way that these hands would call the bet. I think he's going to think that if Ivy had a straight, he would just keep betting again. So he needs to size. So that's why he's going for this smaller sizing here, about half the pot. Trying to get called by these 1 pair hands or weak 2 pair hands. Maybe like King Jack. 300,000. So Jungle Man perfectly reading the situation. So it's going to get Ivy to call again. know, Ivy's not sure where he's at right now. Just calls. Oftentimes when you have a strong hand, you see a small bet, you're just like, okay, let's see what you do on the river.
Wow, and Ivy catches up on the river. He boats up.
He checks. No, Jungle Man. He doesn't know that he's behind here. He's going to bet. Again, he needs to bet the way that hand he wants to get. So I guess, what is he trying to get called by? Jack 10? Jack 10, right? Makes a lot of sense. Jack 10 of spades. Something like that. Because he doesn't expect his opponent to call with a naked king, I think, or a big bet or whatever. So he needs to bet.
Yeah, I mean, for that reason, Jungle Man might actually be considering a check here.
He should consider a check. I don't think Jungle Man's going to check, though. But he should strongly consider it. He is going to... It seems like he's going to bet. Maybe like 600,000 to 700,000. We'll see what he does. So it's going to be about 625. Trying to get called on straight. Yeah, quick call by Ivy. And bad bet, I guess. Jungle Man just loses that pot. So Ivy just calls with bottom boat. I think he figures that the straight won't call if he raises. So if he raises, he's only getting better hands to put more chips in. So that's why he just called there.
Phil Ivy rakes in a big one. And Pogorski continuing to put the pedal to the metal here pre-flop.
Well, I haven't seen anyone fold Jack 10 offsuit pre-flop, so Jungle's in there. Jack 10 offsuit, 400,000 each. Both are not super premiums. Very tricky spot. Pogorski's with top pair, 9 kicker. Checks it back. Turns an 8. Wow, look at Jungle Man's hand. He's behind. He's only got 25% chance to win his pot, but he can represent a lot of strong hands here. A flush, maybe even a full house. Well, Pogorski checks back the flop. Pogorski's going to bet like top set here after he raises pre-flop. A lot. More like aces, kings. So if I'm Jungle Man here, I'm going to fire. But it just checks.
Yeah, I would have bet also if I were Jungle.
River's a straight. You gotta bet now, Jungle Man. Too often, Pogorski's just going to check back the river. You're going to miss out on the value. So he is going to fire. It's like about 500,000. Oh, he's going big. Like pot size bet.
Wow. Big bet by Jungle Man, and I can't imagine Pogorski's ever going to fold, yeah.
Yeah.
Jungle Man wins a huge one.
Pogorski let him get there. Check the flop and the turn.
So far, have you seen Jungle Man bluff a river yet?
I haven't really seen him. No, I haven't, but I mean, he was playing on an outer table. We have no idea how he played over there. But from the whole cards up, we haven't really seen him make some big, courageous bluffs yet. But not too many people really have, but Pogorski. And, well, Tom Dwan's one shot at it as well.
Three ways to the flop here. Jungle Man with an up and down straight draw. He's considering a lead. He decides instead to check. Jungle Man giving a little bit away with his timing there, though. But Pogorski undeterred. Bets the flop. Ivy also calling with top pair. But let's see if Jungle Man goes for a check raise here. I think I would check raise this hand.
Well, they have been playing quite passively lately.
Jungle Man being the chip leader, having a hand that at worst has 50% equity, and having the Jack of Diamonds in his hand. I guess it's not true that at worst it has 50% equity in case his opponent has a hand like King Jack that he goes with.
He's gonna raise.
Yeah, against any made hand, Jungle Man's hand just has very, very good equity.
Even though a king could make someone ace jack straight by raising, he kind of pushes out naked ace jack anyways. So it makes it straight with king. It's quite much more clean by raising here.
Exactly. Yeah, I really like Jungle Man's line here.
Actually, a big raise, 900,000. Shit. Tough spot. Top pair, top kicker. Ace queen.
I think Pogorski has to fold here.
Let's see if he agrees. He is always suspicious though, so. Oh, he's gonna call.
Wow.
See a turn card and try to play the turn. I think
make the call
if
easy
it becomes a
fold for Ivy.
blank turn, Pogorski's gonna be willing to commit.
I mean, that's the problem though with calling here, is that even on a blank turn, you're not thrilled.
What do you want to see, Jungle Man?
Trying to get some reads off of him on what card he wants to see on the turn. Jack on the turn is tricky. It's actually a really hard card for Jungle Man to keep betting on as well.
Right. Yeah, I would expect Jungle Man to check here.
Yeah, he might freeze up here. It's very easy for Pogorski to have a hand that's going to continue here. What if he's got like King Jack of Diamonds? Well, I guess he can, given that Jungle Man has a Jack of Diamonds, but like...
Just King Jack.
Jack, I mean, Ace King of Diamonds is very realistic. There's a lot of hands. The thing when it comes to Queen 10 Jack is tricky. You don't know if your opponent has a hand that's going to fold or if he has a hand where he must call because of his huge equity. Jungle Man's only got 32% here. Just think about what hands he can represent. He keeps betting here. I mean, if you have a hand like Queen 10, probably not betting again on this turn card, right? You're pretty worried. Or you're not feeling great about it if you do bet. This Jack actually is a very confusing card for Jungle Man. I'm sure it's confusing for Pogorski as well. Pogorski just calls and see what happens on the turn. Jungle Man wants to bet again. He hasn't really made a crazy play yet. So maybe he knows that Pogorski's been watching the hands. Maybe he can get away from play like this. So it looks like 1.5 million going in there, potentially. Leave himself enough chips to shove the river if he wants to. He is counting out chips. Seems like he's leaning towards a bet. Pogorski probably can't really continue with ace queen here.
Yeah, I think that's what Jungle Man was thinking about here is it really possible for Pogorski to have a straight? And I think he arrived at the answer no. Pogorski would probably fold the flop with ace-king, he'd probably fold the flop with king-9, and he'd probably fold the flop with 8-9. And
unless they were diamonds.
Right, and therefore Jungle Man said, you know what, this is a good situation to go ahead and put my opponent to the test.
Well, the good thing is that if your opponent has two pair or a set, they're probably just going to call on a turn, so you get to see the river anyways with this bet, right? Like, most people are just going to, okay, I'm all in with queen 10. That's not going to happen, so...
Right, I was originally leaning towards a check with Jungle Man's hand, but given that, I actually like Jungle Man's bet here. It's possible for Jungle Man to have those hands, specifically king 9 and 8-9, but it's very, very unlikely that Pogorski would float the flop with those hands.
It's very, very tricky hand. I mean, Pogorski could have... The question is, does Jungle Man think Pogorski will have king, queen, and ace, queen on the flop and call a check raise? That actually is... We don't really know. Because you expected Pogorski to fold ace, queen.
Right.
Jungle Man think he's going to fold ace, queen? Or a hand like king, queen? I'm not really sure. So, this hand... Bet is much better if he thinks Pogorski can have ace queen, king queen, aces, something like that. But king queen, is a tough spot too. If of course he had king queen, he'd actually be better than ace queen because he'd have more outs in case he's wrong. Of course, his read on the flop was this guy's bluffing. He's got to draw. But why is Jungleman still betting on a card that looks very dangerous? So what's going through his head right now? It's one of the longer hands in the tournament. Of course he's thinking about it. Very, very tough spot. He has the best hand. He shouldn't be folding if he see Jungleman's cards. He's got 16% chance. Scooped his pot on the river. The only true blanks on the river is a 6 and a 7. The only true blanks. That is what, 5 cards in, or 7 cards in the deck? Oh, 8 makes a straight out there. 9's awful. King is awful. Even a Jack 10 and Queen is not even that great for Ace Queen.
Well, King is certainly.
King would be the best. Yeah, but there's not many. There's only 4 kings left in the deck. And Ace would be an awful card as well. But it's a 4 straight out there.
But Kaborski senses a rat here. And what he's thinking is, you know what, if Jungleman check raised the flop with either the hand he has or with King and Jack,
He lets it go.
then Kaborski's ahead.
Kaborski realized, if he gets it in and is wrong, he almost always is drawing to the king. So just nice hop there.
Very nice play by Jungleman.
Jungleman, pocket kings. Of course, he's got ace queen offsuit. I think he's been kind of an aggressive player. Seems like he's gonna.
Wow, he goes all in here. That's a huge raise, and he gets snap called by Jungleman. Kaborski will get the bad news, but it is short deck, so anything can happen.
Well, I believe the ace queen has what, 38% roughly. I think that's what he told me. Normally it's 30%, but it's definitely a higher percentage chance.
6, 8, 10. No help for Kaborski on that flop. Good flop for Jungle.
Only got 24%.
6. Kaborski's gonna need an ace. Gonna need an ace. And it is a 7. And Kaborski, who came into this final table as the chip leader, has been eliminated in third place. He will take home a little bit over 1.9 million Hong Kong dollars for his efforts.
Yeah, that's a good price. It's about, I think, what, 250k USD. So very well played. It's gonna be heads up Jungleman and Phil Ivey. Just 2 players remaining in this first live short deck Ante only tournament. There's the chips.
As you can see, Jungleman coming into this heads-up match with a huge chip advantage, more than 3-1 chip advantage over Phil Ivey, but he is playing Phil Ivey, one of the best in the world, so these 2 very top pros are going to be going mano a mano in this heads-up tournament, in the heads-up round of this tournament for 4.75 million Hong Kong dollars, which comes out to approximately 600,000 US dollars. And it looks like these players are taking a quick break, so we will be back very shortly with the action here live from Montenegro for the Triton Super High Roller Series event number 1.